Hi dear friends, welcome back to ಅಕ್ಷರಧಾರೆ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇವತ್ತು 15/7/2023. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅನ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಇಂದಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅನ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪೇಪರನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ನೀವಿನ್ನೂ ನನ್ನ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೀ ಅಪಾರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪೇಯ್ಡ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದಿ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಪುಷ್ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನೇನು ಅಪಾರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್, ಏನೇನು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪೇಪರನ್ನು ಓದೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಗೈಸ್ ಎಂಜಾಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ವೀಕೆಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್. Yes, guys, let's start the today newspaper reading. I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend. And let's start. Let's see what's in the front page of the Hindu newspaper. Let's make it visible. It will. Yes, the portfolios allocated to 9 NCP ministers. Yamuna floods more pockets in Delhi. Goods exports slide 22% to 8-month low. Bombs and ballot boxes in West Bengal. Panchayat polls many targeted killings. Djokovic eases past Sinnu enters final. India's third lunar odyssey begins with perfect launch. Spacecraft enters elliptic walking orbit. Soft landing likely on August 23. Next 42 days crucial, says ISRO chief. Chandrayaan 3 is a testament to our scientific relentless dedication. Knowing speeding is top reason for accidents on expressway. Western Ghats lost 5% evergreen forest. India France set to co-develop a jet engine. BJP's downfall has begun. CM. Abol Nagwara lakes deprived of maintenance, with the forest department trying to transfer the two lakes to the BPMP for a long time now. Residents and activists say not much attention is being given to the welfare of the lakes. Kalinagrara to Nagawara line to be ready by March 2025, says Shivakumar. Entry to Yeshwantpur station from PF1 side to be shut. Itinerant security check at Vidyanand Sauda, over 250 invalid passes seized. Application invited. University of Visheshwarya College of Engineering has invited applications for the post of guest faculties from suitable candidates for the academic year 2023 to 24. Applications are on its website. Whitefield Rising wants a fire against telecom firm CEOs. 3 arrested for vandalizing car in city. Speeding is the leading cause of accidents on expressways. Alok Kumar, ADGP Traffic and Road Safety, has issued an order that enforcement should be correlational to the offences. Buildings on B Kata sites in city has no approved plans. Impose penalty and issue B Kata for sites in illegal layouts. Man son killed in accident. Auto union to launch a chatbot to boost last mile connectivity. Western Ghats lost 5% evergreen forest cover, shows analysis. Western Ghats spatial decision support system launched by the IAC also shows that NTA forest constitutes only 25% of the forest land mass, depicting the fragmentation pressure and impacting local ecology. Illegal quarrying action to be taken against based on spot report. KA invites applications for medical dental courses. KREDL declares its highest Dividend ever worth 20.96 crore. Nominations invited. Space enthusiasts watch Chandrayaan 3 launch at a planetarium in city. Political leaders congratulate ISRO. Special trains between Danapur and Bangalore. 3D printing, the future of construction industry. 3D printing technology, which has the potential to revolutionize the construction industry, offers unprecedented design freedom, reduces material waste, and significantly cuts down construction time. It enables the creation of complex architectural forms that would be challenging to achieve with traditional methods. Every 2 minutes, as an aspiring home buyer calls us. BJP's downfall has begun from state CM. The recent assembly poll results are an indication of that BJP had to bite the dust despite Narendra Modi's whirlwind election tours. He says a reservation for women. CM turns the tables on BJP. Karnataka Examination Authority inviting online application for the MBBS, BTS, Ayurveda, Unani, and Homeopathy and degree courses for the year 2023 in the state of Karnataka. Rahul Gandhi to have breakfast meeting with ministers. Number of taxpayers increases by 4.2 lakh and GDP GST in state. 300 acres will be given to Foxconn soon. MB Patil. Registration for Gruhalakshmi will begin soon. Courts for POSCO cases must decide relief for victim. Karnataka High Court enhances compensations to 110.5 lakh from 1 lakh, awarded by a special court in Karwar. Youngsters neglecting aged parents is an heinous act, says HC. Japan's trade collaboration with Karnataka on the rise. In a setback to Senthil Balaji, Madras HC rules in favor of ED. Deciphering Maharashtra's defections, its politics, roiling, and resurgence. Let's read this editorial page, which is a little important for the competitive exams. Almost important. So, the issue of political defections typically takes center stage at a particular moment in the life of a polity. This is the intervening period of transition when an old system of political dominance gives way to a new one. In Maharashtra, the era of Congress dominance, which had weakened by the 1990s, put to an end in 2014. Yet, the Bharatiya Janata Party has not been quite able to take over the reins from the Congress Nationalist Congress Party combined, given the attitude of the local elites in regions such as Western Maharashtra, leading to a chaotic decade of attrition. Whether the dramatic switch of the Ajit Pawar and CP faction to the National Democratic Alliance signals the birth pangs of a new era of the BJP's dominance, or is merely a contingent truce, remains to be seen. A state level focus. The BJP's singular majority in the national level since 2014 has whetted its desire for state level dominance in a number of states. The success of these various state campaigns has been predicted to a large extent to an array of mass defections from erstwhile ruling and our primary opposition parties. The volatile politics of the northeastern states, dependent on central aid, fell to this trend the earliest. BJP became the ruling party in Assam in 2016 following key defections from Assam Gana Parishad and the ruling Congress. This was the model of rapid party expansion built on defections of leaders, particularly from dominant caste classes, which was later used in Tripura and the wider northeast. In Arunachal Pradesh, in 2016, almost the entire state unit of the Congress, 44 out of the 45 MLAs, including the Chief Minister Prema Khandu, defected overnight to an NDA ally and shortly thereafter to the BJP. Thus, the split of the NCP in Maharashtra now is better understood in the context of national politics. Such a move enables us to move behind the immediate plane of contingent factors such as leadership, successions, successions and the coercive meddling of central agencies. It will also help explain the split of the NCP and the Shiv Sena within a ditching here in terms of the evolving structural dynamics of Maharashtra politics. The national context is particularly important because of the politics of Maharashtra, like the politics of Assam, deeply intersects with the slow-moving terrain of national politics. This has provided the state with its characteristic political stability, underwritten by the hegemony of the dominant farming caste of the Maratha Kunbis, and bolstered with the support of a largely sympathetic center. Political scientist Suhas Palshikar has suggested that the traditional Congress system, the model of informal accommodation of diverse constituencies within the party, has survived perhaps the longest in Maharashtra. Until 2014, the Congress Party, or a breakaway Congress faction, ruled the state for almost the entire post independence period. The state remained largely unaffected by the ideological challenge of the Mandal Revolution, which reshaped the political structure of northern India. The only significant exception was the 3 year period between 1995 to 1998 when the NDA alliance, the Shiv Sena and the BJP, took control of the state. This short lived abortive transition in the state politics also coincided, unsurprisingly, with a hedgy period of national transition marked by the NDA coalition's ascent to power at the national level. Maharashtra's political economy as factor. The reason why national and state politics move in lock set up in Maharashtra has much to do with its political economy. The state has not evolved a regional business elite like in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Gujarat. Instead, the commanding heights of the economy are still controlled by a pan India business elite. Journalist Harish Damodaran, in his book India's New Capitalist Caste Business and Industry in a Modern Nation, drew a distinction between the Patels and Marathas, the dominant agrarian caste in Gujarat and Maharashtra, respectively, in terms of the trajectory of their upward mobility, while the Patels have moved over the last 3 decades from agricultural cooperatives to modern urban sectors such as finance and petrochemicals. The Marathas have lagged behind. Therefore, the NCP and the Shiv Sena have disavowed a pronounced regionalist agenda. Instead, regional parties attempted to co-opt the national business elite and hanker after a share of power at the national level in order to predictably divert state resources as patronage into rural cooperatives and allied sectors. Therefore, Ajit Pawar has had one-sided battle with his uncle Sharad Pawar for control of the NCP as Hage on his side as well as political history. One can see in Junior Pawar's coup a reprise of 1978 or 1999 when Sharad Pawar formed a breakaway Congress during the Congress spell in the political wilderness at the national level. More precisely, Ajit Pawar's decision to join forces with a Narendra Modi-led BJP echoes Sharad Pawar's move to merge his Congress into the Rajiv Gandhi-led Congress in 1986. Much like the NCP, the Congress made this calculated maneuver despite being the largest opposition party in the state. Also, in both cases, the crafty Pawars itched their political future to the principal ruling party, which also commanded a formidable majority at the central level. In fact, it was this voluntary avocation of the oppositional space that allowed the Shiv Sena to expand in rural Maharashtra, channeling discontent against an entrenched establishment. Bal Thackeray's Shiv Sena surged from a single seat in the 1980s to 52 seats in 1990, emerging as the principal opposition party. The sociological base of the NCP, much like the Congress at the time, functions as a popular constraint on the party. In 1977, the scholar Donald Rosenthal wrote of the expensive elite Marathas in the Western Maharashtra, drawing political control from a canalization of state policies in these areas of agricultural investment, education, and rural self-government. The NCP's political support still remains rooted to this rural economic base, consolidating the Maratha elites into political networks and then linking them to a mass voter base, even as the urban economic landscape has transformed over the last 5 decades. The sugar cooperatives of Maharashtra, as Damodar wrote, are self-governing republics headed by popular chieftains who follow dynastic lineages to durably embed themselves in local politics. This is a decentralized confederacy, not a command and control structure. Organizational strengths. The informal organizations base of the NCORP constitutes a major reason why the party has melted away into the NDA camp. While the Shiv Sena, in comparison, has proved more resilient, political scientist Chibor had coded the organizational strength of various parties into three blocks: weakly organized, moderately organized, and strongly organized parties. The relevant parameters are formal organizational structures, governing channel support mobility, linkages to an activist base, and political mobilization between elections, among others. In their calculations, the Shiv Sena had moved from a party that was a strong organized party to one that was a moderately organized party during its life cycle. In contrast, the NCP in 1999 and 2004 has been coded as a weakly organized party. The Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray has retained to a large extent its organizational base in large urban areas such as Mumbai, Nashik, and Pune. The party has a hierarchical system of control linking affiliated bodies of urban workers and a large activist base dotting numerous party shakas. To the charismatic personality of the supreme leader, the Thackeray are not only closely control appointments and decision making but also evoke a populist emotional appeal among the base of the party. Consider the limited number of municipal corporators that have shifted to the Eknath Shinde Sena over the last year and the mass defections of NCP corporators to the Ajit Pawar camp. As political scientist Herbert Kitchelt, among others, have written, political parties are but a collection of numerous power seekers kept together with an array of incentives. Local elites across Maharashtra have been facing the daunting task of rethinking and recalibrating these incentives. Of course, the Thackeray Sena has also been weakened in rural areas from the defections of several local party bosses last year. Yet it is Sharad Pawar's ideologically nondescript NCP whose politics remained confined to the adroit management of political networks, which is facing the most serious existential crisis. Let's go to the next page. Virtual summit, virtual silence. Let's make it. Let's read this. What is in this? At a media briefing on July 4, India's Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra vehemently asserted that the fact that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit was held virtually in no way signifies insinuates the dilution in the objectives that we are trying to seek of the SEO summit. It did not disclose, however, any reason for not holding the summit physically or in hybrid mode. To emphasize India's commitment to the SEO, Mr. Quatra dwelt on the political, economic, and cultural initiatives the country had taken and the 134 meetings and events which it had convened during its SEO presidency. What Mr. Quatra overlooked was the legitimate point. It is precisely because India had invested so much effort in the SEO that the summits should have been held physically or in a hybrid manner that would have imparted it greater salience. Mr. Quatra future to give Even one credible reason for having a virtual summit indicates that India is moving away from the approaches which led it to become an SCO full member in 2017. At that stage, Prime Minister Narendra Modi still had the belief that he could reach a modus vivendi with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the contentious issues which plague the India-China relationship. Hence, despite the CEO's reactions and the influence exercised by China over it, he enthusiastically went ahead India's full membership. China's acts as reason. China's actions towards India in 2020 and the evolving international order have obviously compelled a reappraisal of Indian interest in the SCO. This is evident from the point of not only holding a virtual summit but also Mr. Modi combative assertiveness on issues of concern to India, terrorism and connectivity, on which it rightly has fundamental differences with China and Pakistan. On terrorism, Mr. Modi said some countries use cross border terrorism as an instrument of their policies, provide shelter to terrorists. SCO should not hesitate to criticize such nations. There should be no double standards on such serious matters, while neither Pakistan nor China will change a course on terrorism. The issue resonates in the Central Asian republics that continue to have deep concerns of terrorist groups using Afghanistan. On connectivity, which is a core issue for the SCO, India's isolation in the organization is apparent. Mr. Modi reiterated India's position that connectivity projects should respect national sovereignty. His target was China's Belt and Road Initiative and its flagship China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which violates Indian sovereignty. Significantly, though, Mr. Xi announced in his address at the summit that on BRI's 10th anniversary, China will hold the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. For him, the BRI is the path of happiness benefiting the whole world. The BRI and the Eurasian game. The BRI's negative consequences have not inhibited the enthusiasm of SCO members for it. India therefore needs to be alive to the danger of China integrating Eurasia and shutting it out of the region with Pakistan's active support. This is not to suggest that India should endorse the BRI, which is an instrument of Chinese expansionism, but it has to find ways to maintain close ties with Eurasia. Certainly, the promotion of Buddhist heritage, however laudable the endeavor, will not help in drawing SCO members towards India and prevent their growing links with China. Besides, the Chabahar project has not moved ahead as it needs to. India has to devote far greater resources and energy to develop a connectivity through Iran, though it is not easy to deal with it. Active air corridors with the Central Asian republics and a pragmatic policy towards Afghanistan that does not mean the diplomatic recognition of the Taliban are also essential to remain also continuously in the Eurasian game. A real silence on the Ukraine war. Expectedly, the SCO declaration was silent on the Ukraine war. India, Pakistan, and China also did not refer to it in their summit statements. Russian President Vladimir Putin mentioned Ukraine and castigated the West. It is also noteworthy that he thanked SCO countries for supporting the Russian leadership in defending constitutional order in the wake of Ahmad rebellion. Mr. Z, who has been Mr. Putin's supporter during the entire period of the Ukraine war, made no reference to of support for Russia in his summit statement. The virtual summit ensured that Mr. Modi did not have to meet any of the leaders, including Pakistan's Shahbaz Sharif personally, that avoided ripples of the kind of the SU foreign ministers meeting generated in Goa. In May 2023, the price, though paid in avoiding controversies and embarrassment, including what would have been caused by the politics of Mr. Putin in India, was in the demonstration of where India currently stands in Russia and its western neighborhood. Many eyes will now be on the BRICS summit in South Africa in August, where Mr. Z and perhaps Mr. Putin will be present. Will Mr. Modi go to South Africa or prepare to avoid any chance of midday muddying the waters before his great moment in the diplomatic sun? The G20 summit in Delhi in September. Let's go to the next page. Ground Zero, the bombs and the ballot boxes. The month-long Panchayat poll-related violence in West Bengal claimed 40 lives and left hundreds who injured. Shiv Shahar Singh reports on how political opponents were threatened and murdered in a mismanaged and lawless election, which the Trinamool Congress won. Jaishankar raises outstanding issues along LAC with China's top diplomat. External Affairs Minister meets Wang Yi along the sidelines of East Asia Summit in Jakarta. In earlier meetings with Chinese side, Jaishankar had called for Beijing to take forward disengagement of troops in the two remaining friction points. As it heard Sisodia's plea for intern bail on July 28th. FAPEC launched to India's third lunar odyssey. India's plans set to co-develop jet engine. As he noticed to Maharashtra Speaker in petition over disqualification proceedings. NCP ministers allow halted Fort Police in Shinde cabinet reshuffle. Aljit gets finance. Indian contingent marches in Paris to Sare Jan se Acha. Prime Minister conferred highest award of France. Success of Chandrayaan launch vehicle gives Gaganyaan a leg up. Gaganyaan is expected to demonstrate India's manned space flight capability. LVM project director Mohan Kumar said that the human rated S200 solid strap on motors have been used again, and the LHO Vikas engine has also become human rated. Congratulations to the team and everyone who worked relentlessly to accomplish the feat. Demonstrates unwavering commitment to advancement of space science. For the moon praises pour in across party lines. Nagaland revokes war and other update for people from Manipur. Wishing you safe travels. We look forward to the scientific results to come from the mission, including NASA's laser recent retroreflector. Keep an eye on people from Manipur living in Delhi, police said, told. The police have been instructed that social media accounts may also be monitored. Justices Bhuyan and Bhatti take oath as new SSC judges. At G20 meet, India presses for responsible use of technology, AI technology, SC2 plea against extortion of internet. Rupkhala Kendro, Film and Social Communication Institute under Information and Cultural Affairs Department, Government of West Bengal. Yamuna floods Rajghat reaches Supreme Court. The water level in the river has started dropping but still remains over the danger mark. Flood damage regulator triggers political blame game. Delhi CM LG present united front. One more cheetah dies at Kuno National Park. Declare floods as calamity and compensate farmers for loss. The organization demands separate compensation for loss of crops and farm animals. Landslides cut off Anathula or other parts of Sikkim. Congress demands transparency in donations to BJP. Data Protection Bill poses severe restrictions to RTA Act and CPRI cautions government. ED seizes 3.94 crore link to AirTech firm. Delhi's IGA report gets fourth runway cross taxiway. Gita shows how to let go. Communication blackout disease outbreak in Sudan as fighting rages. Pakistan PM launches 3.5 billion Chinese designed nuclear project. Turkey's Erdogan says Putin agreed to grain deal extension. Beijing says Germany's new China strategy to result in risks. In debate against China, Blinken rallies Asian countries against coercion. US Secretary of State says countries must uphold the freedom of navigation in the South and East China, sees and maintain peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Amidst China's Wang Yi but Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Putin says Prigozhin refused to cede command of Wagner. Hollywood striking actors writer to John picket lines in the first dual strike since 1960s. In a bid to weed out Western ideas, Russian MPs approved bill banning gender as an very assignment. Goods exports slide 22% to 8-month low. June merchandise exports fall to 32.97 billion. Imports dip by for 17.5 billion to 5 to 553.1 billion. Even as gold imports research. Trade deficit narrows by 8.8%. WPI remains in deflationary territory for a third month. BMW Group unveils X5 Sports activity vehicle at 94 lakh. Federal Bank Q1 net profit grows 42% to 853.7 crore. TCS other IT stocks leads in 6.66,000 to new peak. PSU banks worry after SBI's dismal 81 bond issue. Chemplost Cinema unit to make active ingredient. FinMin asked to consider imposing customs duty on Chinese stainless steel. Jaishwal Kohli give India handsome lead. Playing a shot 300 times a day and 100-meter power, I think Jaiswal will. Ruturaj to lead India men's cricket team at the 19th Asian Games. Harmanpreet to lead India women at Hangzhou Asian Games. Kwiatkowski wins state 13. Vingegaard keeps narrow lead. Tour keeps gold. Parul wins maiden Asian title. Jaishwal Kohli give India handsome lead. The farmer becomes the third Indian to score 150 and debut. Assuming at 312 for 2 on the third day, the visitors declare on 421 for 5. Djokovic proves too hard first in sets first blockbuster final with Alcaraz. South consolidates after taking the lead. Dulstan fashions India's yes thumping win over UAE's Bogey Aditi lies fifth at Dana Open on LPGA. Sunil Chetri, Indian Football Center for Gravity. At a time when most sporting careers would have wound down, the 38-year-old seems fitter and more energetic than ever, and it finally feels like he is captaining a national team that matches his self-assurance and drive. I have seen some of India's best athletes, like Neeraj, Vinesh Chetri is one of them. So I am not surprised in the slightest at which he is doing, but still in how way single time. He just wants to win at everything, whether it is table tennis, badminton, or cards. But he is just super competitive. David Z. Gay's complicated United legacy. At his best, the Spanish goalkeeper saved his team's blushes. He often stepped up in the difficult post-evolution years, but with howlers creeping into his game and a weakness with the ball at his feet, slipped, stippling the Manchester club's attempts to modernize its play, and exit become inevitable. Picture this Saturday, guys. There is no any text and editorial page. I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಪೇಪರ್ನ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 40 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸಿಂದ 2 ಅವರ್ಸ್ವರೆಗೂ ಓದಬೇಕು. ಆವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನ ಕಲಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ don't forget to read for 2 hours every day so to make you better in English communication. So and I'm going to end this video for today, so I hope you, and also I will see you every in the upcoming videos. Hope you guys enjoy the video, has enjoyed the reading, and also have the habit of reading each and every day at least 3 to 4 hours. It will make you very better in everything. So please subscribe the channel, like and comment. See you in the upcoming videos. Have a great day. Bye bye, take care.